Welcome to the Eagles Nest podcast. My name is Brad Brewer with Coldwell Banker and of course the Holmes team. I'm sitting next to 6'2", 200 and I don't know how many pounds.
30 pounds, Vince Devall. Hey guys, welcome again to our podcast. Another great week. Love starting Mondays off with our podcast. And today,
Is that down? That weight?
yeah, it's down.
Congratulations.
Thanks, buddy.
We're on our beginning of the year, get in shape for golf season.
Are we live on Facebook? Did you check that?
I'm checking. It says we are, doesn't it?
I know, but want to make sure we can hear us again this week.
Oh yeah, I'm checking that right now.
We had an issue a few weeks ago, and so
now we're just overly concerned.
We're just being cautious. So this week, while Brad checks that, we are going to talk about 72 ways that Eagle Homes serves you guys as clients.
And if you are watching this on Facebook and you don't hear us, just blast us through text messages and tell us, because that's how we found out the last time.
Yeah, right.
We've done this how many times? Roughly, probably we're over 50 easily podcasts. Should really start counting our episodes. And we didn't have volume one time, and now we're nervous as ever about it.
Yeah, we're gonna redo this.
The likelihood is you can hear us.
No, likelihood's not, because I didn't see it on there.
I didn't see it on there either, but
I'm fixing it right now.
okay. So I'm going to do that high energy intro again.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'll see it on.
Yeah, hold on. I know what the problem was. I figured it out.
Okay.
I went to the personal page.
Well, that's a great intro for your people.
I love it. So
You're live again?
Yeah, Facebook Live.
I'm gonna try and do it exactly the same way as before.
Here we go. We're 5 minutes late again today, guys. We suck at being on time.
We are sucking. All right, here we go. Live on Facebook, soon to be broadcast on YouTube, like always. We are here on the Eagle Homes podcast. My name is Brad Brewer. I'm with Coldwell Banker on, of course, our Eagle Homes team, hence the Eagles Nest podcast. And again, I'm here with 6'2", 200 and apparently 30 pounds, which is down.
It is, yes.
Get in shape for that golf season. So
Vince Devall here. Yes.
And just life,
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Helping the kids, whatever thing. Excited, love Mondays, love being here, love being in at the Loop comments where they brew make their own coffee. Brad likes throwing that out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so here we're talking about 72 ways Eagle Homes team serves you. Now, we're obviously not going to get through 72 ways in today's podcast.
What?
We're going to highlight some of them. And then at the end of this podcast, we're going to throw a link in so that you can see how what those 72 ways really are. And would love to get your feedback. Throw some comments in there. Throw some sarcasm in there. We don't give a crap, whatever. But our goal is to serve you. So that's why we do this podcast. And that's why we're talking today.
Are we doing the sarcasm or are they doing the sarcasm?
I don't care. Either one.
I'm really good at it. So I definitely should do sarcasm. I love golf, by the way.
Yeah. So because he loves golf, that's why he came up with 72 ways. That list was a little bit longer and he consolidated it.
It was actually 76. There's some ands in there to make it 72. So it goes about.
All right. Let's
72.
Let's start with let's start with the first one, and this list is geared towards buyers and sellers. So keep in mind, a couple of these things, we may say buyer at times, but it can be reversed into the word seller too. We can swap words at any point in time during this.
Yeah, and before we are going to send this out.
Yeah,
so the link for this
will be on the end.
Will be on and we're going to make a few corrections because I've made a few corrections. Let's just call it that. So
yeah. All right. So the first one is obviously the consultation. We're going to strategize with you and plan a plan of your goals and expectations. What's that look like, Brad?
Well, let's take both on that. So if you're a buyer, you're buying, there's budget concerns. There's, of course, predominantly, what do you want in the house?
Yeah.
What do you want? So and then on the seller side, of course, there's always the financial, what's the goal? What do you want to make? What do you need that money for? What are you going to go next? Things like that. But I really like our approach as a team. I know other agents besides our team do it, but I think we do what I would say a really good job at, and is understanding the motivations. So, and try not to ask it so broadly, like, hey, what's motivating? Because it still seems like a silly question. You say, well, what's motivating you to do this? And of course, the sarcastic, stupid answer would be, oh, I need a house, or I want to sell my
I'm
house.
tired of renting.
It's beyond that. It's like,
I'm
all right,
downside.
what's driving this move? Because let's face it, the one thing at least that throughout the entire moving process that sucks is actually moving.
Right.
Just because you're upheaval, your stuff's in boxes, blah, 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 whatever. I mean, I guess some people have it down to a science because they've done it so much that it's less painful, but at the end of the day, it's what's motivating you to do this.
Yeah.
And then really going deep. And I like to ask a lot of whys. Okay. You want to live here. Why? Why is that important that you live here? A lot of times it's school district for those with kids. Proximity to work.
Right.
Near family. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons. Your favorite golf course.
I think when we do this consult, it is, for us as agents, there's a term out there called LP Mama, right?
Mhm.
LP Mama, it's a great way for us to kind of narrow down what it is. Like it's location,
Yep.
your price point,
Yep.
what is your motivation? Brad said it well. What is
first-
motivating you to do
The
that?
first M is motivation.
Yeah. Well, I have agency next. So,
Yes.
describe like explaining what our role is to you as an agent. What then mortgage? I don't know what your other M was. Was it mortgage?
It's mortgage.
It is okay.
It's mortgage or financing. They
Okay.
to make the acronym sound cool. Because I think LP MAFA just
Mafa sounds good. So mortgage or financing, right?
Funding for those cash buyers. So again, LP MAFA sounds cool. LP
Because
MAFA.
and I also when I talk about mortgage, I also like to talk about the cost to you as either a buyer or seller. It kind of goes hand in hand with agency because a lot of people don't understand earnest money that they have to pay for inspections. A lot of times as a seller, you're paying for a well and septic inspection. As a buyer, you're not. So there's different costs associated with that.
So basically, the consultation's all about understanding your goals, motivations. What's this project going to look like? So we do a lot of we ask a ton of questions.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go through either of our seller or buyer consult, there's a lot of questions. Of course, the seller side, we're asking stuff about the home. The buyer side, we're asking things about what you want in a home.
Yep.
Because, you're going to get to those. All right. I think everybody's got their must-haves and must-have-nots.
Yep. Of course.
And then I think some people forget the must-have-nots. Like, all right, what do you absolutely just not want in your home?
Yeah. Or,
yeah, that could be a number of different things.
Yep.
So consultation is critical. I think that's appropriately listed number one.
Yeah.
Because it really does kick off the process.
The number two is, what I'm going to switch. I'm going to say resources. We are going to provide you with the resources that you need either as a home buyer or a home seller to execute the transaction or find the home, things like that. So that could be if you're buying a home, that is a system we call Real Scout. Real Scout is your home search platform that we set up for you. And as you're in Real Scout, you get a like, dislike, ask questions about specific properties, and you don't have to, all of a sudden look up the address and go text Vince or text Brad, what is 123 Main Street? What's the taxes on it? You can put that comment right in the Real Scout platform. It's awesome.
Yeah, I love our Real Scout platform. I'm going to talk about that just quickly. It's got features for buyers and sellers.
Yep.
And on the search side of it, when Vincent mentioned that you could give like a feature, an external feature, internal feature, bedroom, whatever, you can give them a thumbs up, thumbs down. Do that because one, the system learns.
Yeah.
Real Scout will learn.
It's AI.
And it'll start noting that when a property comes up new, like a new listing that comes up that fits your criteria, what Real Scout will do is it'll tell you that, hey, by the way, this has some features you like.
Yep.
It also says, oh, hey, by the way, got a few features you don't. Then you get to decide where those lie in your priorities. So do use the like and dislike. And very importantly for both buyers and sellers, the seller feature is it keeps you in tune to your market price point. Is your area hot list right now that
Right.
buyers are looking in, stuff like that. Whether you're thinking about selling, whether you're thinking about buying, by the way, and whether you're an active client, past client, never been a client, for those never been, should be, just saying. Um, feel free to use it. We open it up to anybody. There's a website. If you don't have a link because we don't have your contact information, let us know. We'll email you an invite.
Yep.
It's a great resource that you can stay in tune, and then we don't have to bother you and ask you questions because you can communicate with us right through that.
Right.
So
Right.
check it out.
Yeah. So it's both great for buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
Next, we're the boots on the ground, right?
Yep.
We're the ones that are, obviously scheduling the showings for you. You might say, hey, Brad, I really like this property. When can we go see it? We're the one talking to the agent going, what can I get in tomorrow? Can I get in tonight at 5 o'clock, right? We're helping you with walkthroughs, inspections, managing the title company, working with your lender. We are your resource for just about, everything that I can think of when it comes to the thing. And now, not only are we the boots on the ground, we're also the little, I would say the voice of reason on your shoulder. I think is a
yeah.
go into you're about to dig there. Go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into a couple sensitive areas in this one. One, I like my buyers when they're looking at homes to go in and check out the feel. Like, I want you to feel it. Like,
Right.
go on emotion, go on feel. We're the ones to keep your emotion in check. We're the ones that are there to ask the what ifs. So one of the things I like to do is twofold. Look at things that, hey, depending on your loan type, like FHA, USDA, VA, stuff like that. There's certain things that they're gonna require as far as condition wise. Cracked windows, chipping paint, it's gotta have some type of flooring, you can't have a subfloor. Those I'm gonna look at and say, hey, does this home one qualify for your loan type? Also, just point out certain things like, hey, this could come up on the inspection report, just kind of giving you that a little extra, never usually not, and I don't alarm people. I say, I'm not an expert on this stuff, but hey, this could come up in the inspection report. Will it be a big deal, small deal? Who knows?
Yeah.
Just kind of informing you. I also am there to, by the way, keep your parents in check for your first time home buyers. We love them. When I was first time home buyer, took my family through, my dad's very knowledgeable in a lot of things mechanical, including homes, valued his opinion. My dad was also really good at saying, it's your choice, son.
Yeah.
It's your house.
Yeah.
You gotta like it. So don't worry about being the guide, but don't trump what your realtor's saying, because we do really investigate and we ask questions of the listing agent. Don't assume certain things. You got a crack in the foundation going from one area to the other, right by the stairway. No, the sewer didn't back up. They probably put the water line in the wrong spot. And then when they brought the stairway down during construction, they were like, oh, that needs to be over here. So they had to bust up the concrete. I've seen it happen on two homes in construction where come downstairs and you could see the water line coming to the house was moved to the side of the stairs, and you could see where it used to be right into the stairs. Oops, just a design mistake.
Right.
It happens.
Right. Yeah.
But I've seen them down two constructions, and one of which this is one of the ones I had actually asked a parent to remove because they were insistent that the sewer backed up. I'm like, that's not the case. I don't even know this, but I'm pretty sure this is it. Of course, I checked it out, but they freaked their kid out, and it could have been a great home for them.
Yeah.
So,
and kind of to go into that too, like I think you stepped on it really well, is that when buyers are walking through a home, they're there on the emotion, or and as we walk through, we know what your needs and wants, likes and dislikes are. So if all of a sudden we're walking through and we notice that the house has no central air, you're going to be like, well, central air was a must for us. Well, this house is now off our list, right?
And we are, by the way, we're learning too.
Yeah.
Like, we're learning based on your reactions to certain things. And sometimes you'll end up liking, or the opposite, disliking something that was on your yes or no list. And, challenges, and we'll kind of challenge you on it. Like, hey, this was on your do not like this, but you're saying you like this now. Yeah, actually we do. That's fine. Happens all the time.
Yeah.
I was adamant buying the next house. It must be a ranch, and buy a ranch.
He's in a two-story. And to that too, right? Like, our job is to think about the long term when you're in that house.
Yeah.
Great example is I was working with first time home buyers. The only bathroom and the only bathroom and the main bathroom was on the second floor. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
as we talked about it, I go, would making it, you guys gonna grow a family? What's your end goal? And then we got into, do you like to entertain? Yes, yes, yes. Well, let's think about this. All of your guests are gonna have to walk upstairs to use the bathroom.
Or
Oh,
downstairs.
or downstairs. You see that a lot
The
too.
bathroom on the main level, I've seen that in a few homes where it wasn't. It was that, on the sheet, you're like, oh yeah, it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. This is awesome. This is exactly what I want. Except there was nothing, no toilet
Yeah,
on the main
on the main,
level.
yeah,
So it's a one that I think a lot of agents catch, I had a lot of buyers. When I remember a couple buyers I had this and looked at, I sold a house too that was like this. I told the sellers, I'm like, some people won't notice this, some people will. Like how is it, by the way, how is it living with no bathroom on the main level? And they're like, yeah, it kind of sucks for entertaining because our guests either have to go upstairs or downstairs.
yeah.
We'd really like that. And so from the opposite from your buyers, it's definitely something that you're there to catch things that they're not maybe
Yep.
seeing, because they're like, not to stereotype this, but just overall, guys are looking at the garage and women are looking at the kitchens. I've seen it reversed. I actually look at the kitchen too. In fact, I even looked for my wife last time. We were looking like we were in this house. She's like, oh, I love it. I said, this kitchen works for you? Because I knew her taste in kitchens. And she's like, it's not exactly, but it's close enough. I'm like, okay, fair enough.
All right, yeah,
So I kind of acted as her agent, challenging her a little bit on that.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Let's move on. Next is, so we talked about boots on the ground, working through all the inspections, walkthroughs, title company, lender. Communication. We really, really pride ourselves in our communication style and how we manage it. Now we have we have, my wife just texted me, or my dad did, says, looking good, you need a shave. I guess he's watching our podcast right now. Thanks, Pops.
Mr. Doll, he likes the beard. I don't know
I think I
why.
had a little ruffle going on, but either
Yeah.
way,
The neck needs trimmed up, Mr. Doll. I'll get him on that. Don't worry.
communication. So not only do we use obviously phone calls, email, but text messaging, video messaging are also ways that we communicate with you as a buyer and seller. And then we follow up on a weekly updates, because let's be honest, as a buyer right now, there's not a lot of inventory.
Mhm.
But I saw a stat today. Inventory is up like 10% this year than it is over last year in Wisconsin, at this time of the year, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is that rates have dropped, more buyers are hitting the market. So, but our job is to communicate with you through the whole process. So if there's nothing on, let's come to market and nothing's happened for the week, I reach out to my buyers on Friday or Thursday evening and say, hey, this is where we're at. We'll keep our eyes open. If something pops up, I'm available. If something doesn't pop up, we'll keep going.
But we do also
Go.
pay attention to what type of communication our clients like. I worked with some buyers, depending on what they look at, how hot they are to find something. Like, don't bother me once a week. So we do try to listen to that too, but we do have the resources that if you want that regular communication, I try to be tuned if I'm wrong too. Like, hey, I do want that weekly stuff, and you're not getting it. Tell us. It's all part of communication.
Well, and then from the seller side, usually it's a Monday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting you a seller update. That seller update may be, hey, you had 22 showings this weekend, and out of those 22, 11 of them said, hey, it was okay. 3 of them said, or like maybe schedule a second showing. 1 said, we're gonna maybe write, and then the other 8 or 9 said nothing. We don't always get feedback.
It's actually a good point. We're actually interpreting the communication from people that are seeing your home. For those that are for sellers, you see something commented in the feedback. They don't always say what they mean, so
Right.
we interpret. We follow up with the list or their buyer agent that can show them the house and ask questions like, well, if this was this, or what would it take for this? We kind of start the negotiation process for potential negotiations.
Yeah. And that drives us right into number 5 here. Reviewing contracts and multiple offers. Oh no, change the battery.
Uh-oh.
We froze. I can fix it.
Hold on.
You keep talking.
We're gonna pause. I'm gonna talk about nothing.
No, talk about
I'm gonna talk about negotiating. We're gonna go ahead and go on negotiating. You live people, you'll see it. Hopefully, Vince changes this battery out fast enough that we don't lose it. Actually, I'm gonna wait because I know it's dead now. Anyway, for those live on Facebook, how was your weekend? Mine was eventful. I never want to be the person. I don't want to clean my house again. I'd like to. If you're listening, can you let me know? I'd like to know who out there has someone come clean their house on a weekly,
Bi-weekly.
monthly basis.
All right, let's go. We're back at it.
All right, we're back at it. Back to this stuff. All
Sorry,
right,
guys.
all right, we're going into negotiating, but please, I want to hear people. So comment. All right, next step, negotiating.
Yeah. So negotiate, when we get an offer or we're writing an offer on your property, our job is to make sure we're negotiating on our job is to negotiate. Sorry, tuned in late. So our job is to negotiate on your behalf for, whatever it is. If you're purchasing the home or selling the home, we want to make sure we're getting you the best price or getting the most money for your house. And it's not just negotiating price. We're also talking about negotiating. The video stayed on the whole time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we just couldn't see it on the screen.
Cool.
So
Anyway,
negotiating everything about the contract. So we're talking about earnest money. We're talking about inspections, closing dates, financing, things like that. Our job is to negotiate every term along the way. So, if that is something that, it's something we add to the part of it. And we're looking out for your best interest because not every deal is going to be the same. So,
yeah, one thing I like to do, because a lot of buyers, when we're writing up the offer, we've decided to write, we're like, what do you think the seller's gonna think? We don't know.
Right.
We're there to negotiate for you. I do like to say, give them inputs like, hey, kind of put myself in the listing agent's shoes.
Right.
And I do their opposite when I'm the listing agent, is
Keep talking.
what the other buyer, if you're selling, or what the seller's thinking if you're buying, how they may react. And I'll ask my client, hey, well, let's put yourself in their shoes. What would you think? Or how would you want this? It kind of helps the negotiation process go along. So those are things I like to do and just put us in the other person.
Yeah.
The other side.
And we're only a 2-man crew, so when the camera screws up, one of us has to get up, and Brad doesn't move.
Yeah, we
fast.
do not have a great production crew
Yeah.
behind us in this. This is a 2-man. Actually, it's a 1-man operation. I don't touch the tech stuff, so it's a 1-man operation in a 2-man show.
So we're reviewing contracts, we're negotiating those contracts for you, and then once we get you under contract, either as a buyer or seller, we're helping obtain all the documents and data that you may need to supply or get from the seller, such as HOA docs.
Talk about checklists. We have
who's the utility company?
We probably have a 50-step checklist.
Once we're under contract.
Yeah.
For sellers and buyers, yeah.
Yeah.
To make sure that we have all of our, T's crossed, I's dotted, and we're in compliance. Everything is organized, but our job is to help make sure that when we get to the closing table, we're not missing anything.
Right.
We're not, we're having the title company pull to make sure there's no liens on the property, getting your mortgage payoffs, things like that. We're working to make sure all those documents are collected, turned into who they need to be, and then we're moving forward. So
absolutely.
And then we, like I said, so it was perfect. Goes right in number 8. We coordinate all that for you. We help coordinate to make sure that, nothing's missed. It's a lot of legwork on our end. And so never think that we're not doing something for you because there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. And unlike our podcast tech support, we have a lot of support. We have transaction coordination. We have within the brokerage, we have a transaction team that helps manage to make sure that there's compliance throughout that's there. So that is where we do have a solid team behind us. Obviously our podcast.
We'll work on that. And so that goes into compliance. Like they make sure that, we make sure that we hit our deadlines. So there's a lot of deadlines when it comes to our contingencies. We want to make sure we hit all those deadlines.
Mm-hmm.
We want to make sure that all the paperwork's turned in on time, money's turned in on time. or mortgage, whoever's doing your lending, it has the documents, has your pre-approval, has your,
If they go to the appraisal on time.
Yeah.
Once the appraisal comes in, we've got to review it. This is something that's missed, looking at the title report. There's gonna be some issues on title report. Probably most common one that is not an issue that looks like an issue is there could be someone out there with your same name
yeah,
that owes money for something to someone with a judgment or lien or whatever here. Unfortunately, I see the child stuff come up a lot, but just easing through those things that usually aren't easy to prove it's not you, but these are all things we've got to do.
yep. Yeah.
So as part of support for you, and again, 72 ways we serve you.
Yeah. So by the time, when we get you to the closing table, not only is our job to get you to the closing table, hand over those keys or pass them on to the buyers, whatever the situation may be. Our job is, it doesn't end there. We go beyond that. Follow up week or 2 weeks later to see how the move went. We, make sure that we're not missing anything. Do you need a copy of, the settlement statement? Do you need some referrals for painters? We go beyond just, hey, congratulations, thank you.
Just contractors in general.
Yeah.
People often don't think like after you buy your home, call us, call your realtor. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Oh, I need a lawn guy, I need a new weed guy. Whatever. Man, I want to add a bathroom. Just painters, contractors, whatever.
Right.
Any type of home service. Those people market to us because we've talked to a lot of clients that need stuff for their home.
Yeah.
So if you need something like that, we either know it or another agent that we know or a friend we know.
We will find the answer.
We will find the answer for you. So lean on us for that stuff. We love that.
I never tell my clients that. I don't know. It's usually, here is the information, or I will get back to you with an answer.
And back to like planning and negotiating, kind of a circular effect. If you do call someone like, hey, I'm gonna add a bathroom, you got a good contract. Yeah, here you go. Oh, by the way, do you have an idea what that's gonna add value to your home? Oh, no. Would you like to know?
Yeah.
Hey, it's gonna cost you 10 grand, but maybe whatever you're doing, doesn't have to be a bathroom. This is gonna add 15,000,
right?
20,000. Would you like to know that? We can do that for you.
Yeah.
So,
No.
and we don't charge for any of that because again, that's all the ways we service you from just you being our client.
Yeah. So, just to wrap up, we are going to add our 72 ways to serve you to the bottom of this podcast. It'll probably show up later today, along with, it will be on our YouTube channel and our podcast channel. Continue to follow us on at Eagle Home 72 on YouTube.
I know we're gonna put in the YouTube link.
Yep.
We put in the comments.
I'm gonna add it to the comments right now. We're gonna get done here. I'm gonna pull up on Canva. It's gonna start off as the unedited version, but the cool thing is, as we edit things, they change. So awesome. I'm Vince Devall with Eagle Homes and Caldwell Banker.
And I'm Brad Brewer. I am not 6'2".
No, he's not.
No.
But he is 230 pounds, ladies.
I am not.
All right. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Have a great week.